Do you need to be in studio mode or on the other side?
I don't know, baby.
I don't know.
I love these. I love the questions. We're
Don't
very
ask me how
live.
to fix it, but...
Hey, Mike. All right, is it working now, guys? All right, let's see what the chat says. Chat.
Check.
All right, mic check on our YouTube channel. How's that working? Hey, what's up, Chris Miller?
Hi, Chris.
So it shows that it's working on this, but hopefully, yay, some sound. Okay, we're working.
Okay, good.
I just hit buttons. I didn't even read any of them.
Yeah, it sounds the way that I do it too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We are so live it sometimes can be painful. So here we are.
Here we are.
Feel free then now, if you've watched any of our content, listened to the podcast, checked out the show, read the books, been in our programs, anything that you've ever done, ask questions. But today I think we're going to go a little more heart side. We go heart side more Wednesday than anything else.
For sure.
But today we're going to go very, very heart side today. So we've had some pretty big breakthroughs even in our stuff. And I just want to be able to share some of those things because you asked a very good question. I didn't bring any of my prop stuff that we did in the kitchen, but you asked a good question. And you said, what is the big things that you think is why people are struggling in relationships?
Yeah.
And can we just call spades here? There's like 10 gajillion people calling out problems.
Yeah.
What's up, Mr. Gratitude? This might be one you want to jump in on. We're talking about relationships today. So we see like what's going on with people, with relationships. What's going on? Why are people struggling so hard in relationships?
Mm-hmm.
And I did an analogy talking about like some of the main problems, which would be not just what we're contributing and receiving, but also the listening element of it. But I did an analogy with a shot glass. And I said most of our guys, the biggest battles our men have is the ability to accept or work through the vulnerability of feelings. They struggle with feelings. When you go with feelings with guys, we repress our hearts. We push them down. We are unfamiliar with things like empathy being given to us. Men struggle with their feelings. It's hard for us to express them or say what our unmet needs are when it comes to feelings. Heck, we use tools and stuff all the time to be like, find the feeling you're struggling with, because we, generally will use thinking instead of feelings. Like, baby, I just feel like I don't like it when you're late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not a feeling.
Right.
That's I don't like when you're late is not a feeling.
Yeah.
That's a thinking.
We use the word a lot. Yeah.
We try to use the word feel for thinking very often. And that makes it very difficult to contribute to the connection element of love. So I had my guys, I showed up as a little shot glass. We repress all of our emotions, repress everything down. I'm like, all I have is a shot glass. That's all I can give you. And now our ladies have a really hard time whenever we're working with truth. Whenever the truth comes up, denial gets kicked in immediately, and so ladies generally are struggling with the reality aspect of things. So denial is their go-to for, I don't like that, so I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to talk about it, and so they'll go to blame, shame, or judging others instead of introspection and going inward. It goes outward very quickly, generally because the comparison curses and stuff that are started very young create these habits of it can't be me, it must be everyone else, and so the reality becomes an issue. So what happens is bad things will happen to both. Guys will repress their hearts and make themselves smaller, so they only have a shot glass. And ladies end up, instead of a container or a bowl to hold their feelings when guys will give it to them, it's a strainer. And so their guys will go, well, let me pour my love into you. And they pour all my love. This is all of it that I got. And they pour it in, and it just goes right through the bottom. And the ladies are like, I don't see any love.
Mm-hmm.
You must not be doing it right.
Yeah. And
you go, wait a second, no, I'll give you another shot. And he goes right through and goes, nope, no love still. You're not doing it right. Maybe there's something wrong with you. And the truth is, something wrong with both.
Yeah.
He has a repressed heart. He can't open it fully up because all those emotions and feelings have been judged, shamed, blamed, ridiculed, rejected. He's been hurt with feelings, so he rejects the feeling element. And ladies have a really hard time with being able to be empathetic, kind, compassionate towards a guy who doesn't have his heart open. Like you guys, there's a missing element here. So I said, in order to fix this, we have to work on our own stuff because people will show up with their strainers expecting his shot glass to be the cure for somebody else's wounding or an insecurity you have or fears that you're surrounding yourself with. And then the guys are like, well, I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to do. This is all I got is a shot glass. It's been like this since I was 10 years old. How the hell am I supposed to know what to do with this?
Yeah.
for my guys to heal, I grabbed a big water pitcher. It had a lid on it, and we probably should have grabbed these props. But I grabbed
You want me to go get 'em?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
But I mean, I showed the big water pitcher, and I said we have to heal our heart in order to be able to retain more. But on the top of the water pitcher is one of those lids to make it so you can like pour it out without it spilling everywhere. And I'm like, but the thing is even if we heal our heart, we have these fears, concerns, and worries because with my men, they can show you, I've got the scar here, I got beat up here, I got punched here, but those all heal. But the worst pain I've ever felt came from my broken heart, from getting hurt. And if you guys think men don't have hearts, we have big hearts. We're natural givers. And so guys are hurt. So it's hard to open that up. I'm like, so I'm not going to take the lid off, but I'm good, but I healed my heart, but I'm not taking the lid off because you might hurt me. And then girls who aren't healthy will try and put damage into a guy's good heart. Mm-hmm. And then let's go the other way. Let's say the women are like, well, I got a strainer and he's got a full heart and he's pouring it all in and it just pours all out. They're still going, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. Ladies also patch all those holes from when your ex cheated on you, from when somebody abandoned you, when somebody didn't treat you right, when someone treated you like shit. You have to heal your broken heart too, to have enough space that if a guy does pour good love in, you hold it and you're able to receive it and you can appreciate it. But guys, if they don't have an opening to be able to do that, they can't do it. And if women aren't able to do it, you guys are both missing each other. So here you guys are with your strainers and shot glasses trying to figure out how to get love. I'm gonna get a girl. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get me a man. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
And then they get them, and then they're like, well, I don't really get love though. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it, but now
Idea.
And so now we're struggling. How do we find connection?
Yeah.
How do we make it so that this is actually love? And my baby and I gotta say, like we've been together now almost at least 7 years. 7 years. It's coming up in 7 years. And our last probably 7 to 8 months, we have really put the work in to really heal our containers and be open, very open with each other. And I will say I have never been more in love than than my girl. I love Andrea so much. And the more that we go in, the more we open up, and the more that I'm vulnerable, and not vulnerable weak, like I just cry all over her. No, I can truly open up and go, you are my love, and I can give that leadership in a way for compassion, for reassurance.
Yeah.
Because she'll be like, I'm just worried you're going to do this. And she's got her old wounds and her stuff she's sorting out. She's like, well, I'm just worried that's going to happen or this is going to happen. I'm like, let me reassure you. I am not that man. I'm here with you. It's you and me, baby. But we had to really rebuild because she had holes in her bowl.
Yeah.
And I had that lid on.
Yeah.
And we weren't actually opening up to each other because I wasn't being safe enough for her to feel like she could.
Yeah.
And she was not being safe enough for me to feel like she was even receiving.
Yeah.
Because she was so busy trying to control, and I was too busy trying to control, and nobody was actually going, well, let me open up completely to you.
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't somebody just open up completely?
Because it's a fear of getting hurt.
People can hurt you, yeah.
Yeah.
You can get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hurt. Do you want to get hurt?
No.
No. So I'll control
Yeah.
love. I'll navigate love. I'll be the one who narrates how love is going to work.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Yeah.
How is it when you try to control the world because you tell everyone how love is supposed to work? How's it working out for you?
Yeah.
Failed relationship, disconnected, having arguments with my partner all the time. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
If you're so damn good at this, and it's not your strainer, it's his shot glass, or it's not your small shot glass, or your container that's got the lid on it, it's her inability for her to receive. Well, why are you struggling if you're the good one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to answer that question. Screw that. Screw that question very much. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, there's a reality check here. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what it's supposed to be like until you surrender to the heart.
Yeah.
Now, this sounds so simple, but it's not easy.
It's not easy.
No, I mean, like, I surrender fully. That's why it's not called force in love. It's called fall in love.
Yeah.
Surrender to the fall. Let go of controlling. I don't control her heart. I don't control who she is. I don't tell her how she's allowed to be, what she can say, how she should operate, who she's allowed to. I don't control her. I accept and I love her. Do we have agreements and boundaries? Do we have autonomy? Yes, we have healthy elements to our relationship. But I am not her boss. Me as a leader, I go the direction we need to go. And I go, baby, come on with me. This is good for you, good for the girls, good for me. It's good for everybody. Are you coming with me? And she goes, baby, if it goes wrong, what happens? If it goes wrong, it's on me. I'm a leader. Follow me. If it goes wrong, it's on me. If it goes off the rails, we'll go plan B, because you always got plan B, C, and E already set.
And I think I trust that we're heading in that right direction, right? My job as a woman, too, is not, if it fails or something goes wrong, also to still be encouraging in that moment and to understand and know that I will have his back through and through. Like, it doesn't matter if, something tragic happens, like, I'm there for you. No different than he's there for me. And I think that's a difference, too. We've seen relationships where, the guy loses his job. We were just talking about this the other night. And the woman shows her true colors and was like, well, now you can't provide for me, or now you're not giving me what I want, so now I'm going to leave. That is not a relationship. That is a one-sided, I guess, relationship with yourself, because when you're in love with someone, you have that connection, you're by that person, you have that person's back, and you're there for them in the good and in the bad. It's always easier to be there for the good. The challenges are when things go sideways and then people's true colors start showing up. And my challenge would be for the women, like, do you have your guys back when things go sideways and maybe not the way that you want them to be? What does your behavior look like?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple things on here. Good job, baby.
Yeah.
There's a couple things on here I want to share out here. We got a couple questions. Autistic Girl Dad, way to go. You and your wife reconnected as well, and we finally made it past 5 years. Congratulations. Danielle, you said, how many times is acceptable to ask for reassurance? It's kind of one of those things where, how often would you say you ask for reassurance?
I don't. Like, it's very rare.
Yeah, but how often do you need it?
Moments.
Yeah, it'll come up often when you're like, I'm in a moment right now.
Yeah.
I'm having a moment.
And
I think, Danielle, this is for you and your guy to be able to understand the needs for each other. It's not a demand like, hey, reassurance now.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't really work. But if you guys understand, or you feel your partner, if you're like, I know that you need reassurance. I know that she needs more reassurance than I do. I do not need the reassurance that she does. So I can be compassionate and open and understanding that my baby needs something right now that I can give. It doesn't cost me anything to reassure her. This is just a moment of listening to understand without judgment, feeling ridiculed. And ladies, let me just please be very clear. Baby, if you need reassurance, do you go, hey, you're doing everything wrong?
No.
You need to do better. You suck at this.
No.
Like, are you criticizing?
No, it doesn't look like that. In fact, it has to come from within you. Why do I feel like I need reassurance in this moment? It is my situation that feel like I need it, right? And so first identifying what are the things that are making you feel like you need reassurance, and what's making you feel uneasy. Is there behavior that he's doing that's like, can you just clarify what that is? Because this is how I'm perceiving it to be, and I don't think that's the way that you're meaning it to be. So it has to be that conversation. I think in the past I've been very quick to not necessarily like lash out, but get overwhelmed, and knowing that is something that's like an underlying theme would come up in different ways, and it would come up in either sadness or distractions of some sort when I wasn't able to recognize it in the moment.
You're going into your safety mechanisms,
Yeah.
your control mechanisms. I know that I'll be okay if I go to work. That's one of your defenses. That's a distraction system. You're correct.
Yeah.
And so this is where the conversations between you two, the conversation between you two is, baby, this is one of my needs. And if his need is also, pay attention to his needs. What if his are, babe, you don't have to agree with me, but I do have a need to feel heard and respected. Like, At least listen to understand. It doesn't mean because I said something, you have to do something. Let me just say it again. Just because I said something doesn't mean everyone has to do something.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I don't really like the way that that's left out. Next time you come around, go like, I thought I told you I didn't like this left out. Well, there was no agreement there. There is no conversation. You just made an opinion statement. You just made an observational opinion. I don't like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the request? Where's the agreement? Where is it like, oh, I understand where you're coming from? Or, hey, let's try and do something that works better for us. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
No, I just don't like that, or I don't like what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
What is there something that you want to talk about so I can listen to understand your side and we can maybe make an agreement to grow together? Or is it just I'm making statements that are demands and I now expect you to do what I told you to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are we at? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And so if you're needing reassurance, having that conversation, if he needs to feel need or you guys need to make agreements, make the agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Have the conversation. I am working through my own holes in my strainer, and I'm trying to pack those in. And the reassurance helps me grow faster because if you give me a safe place to work, I can patch those holes faster. And so if you're having one of your days, go, hey, babe, can you reassure me I'm okay while I work on my stuff? That's a good question. That's a fair request. Of course, how do you need that, babe? Well, I don't really know. If you don't know, how is he going to guess it correctly?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. If you have no idea how you need it, he now has to go through the conversational whirlwind of trial and error to guess and check the way you specifically need reassurance. And if guys are like, well, reassurance means you're okay. Hey, baby, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. And you're like, that's not how I need it. Okay. Everything's going to be fine, babe.
Yeah.
You're not doing it right. What do you need?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to reassure me. Everything's going to be fine. Why isn't that working?
Yeah.
How do you need your reassurance? How do you need to know, like, well, I need reassurance in this area. Please tell me that I'm your one. Or, baby, no, that nothing like your worries or your fears that you're trying to patch up in that area. That's not me. We're
Mm-hmm.
good. And I'm always here for you because I choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's all these other girls out there. Yeah, that's because it's Earth. Like, yeah, there's other people. I know. But I choose you. So what does that have to do with anything? What if you don't choose me? That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know because I don't live on a planet where I'm choosing other people. I live on the world. I choose you. You're my girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's you and me, babe. What if that? What if this? And what if that? Keep patching up your what if holes because we're in this reality right now where there is no one else. I'm not doing that and you're not doing that. So
Right.
how much more reassurance do you need than take a deep breath and look around at all of the girls in here that I'm choosing?
Mm-hmm.
It's just one.
Yeah.
It's just you, babe. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The reassurance of like, you're scared of something that isn't happening. And I got you. Patch that hole. How many times do I have to reassure you that you're good? As many times as she needs until all the holes are patched.
But I think one thing that improves over time is everyone starts working on themselves, but also what people say and what they do. I think women, and you'd have to, I'm sure men are very keen to this, but women watch very closely. What my guy says, if he's going to say he's going to protect me, he's going to be there for me, but his behavior is showing something different, all the sirens go off because it makes us feel less safe, less secure. And so when men say they're going to do something and they want to take the lead, as women, we're like, okay, I hope that that's what happens because I'm putting my trust in, like, my security into this person. And when people, I think this is people in general, but I think for women, if a guy is saying he's going to do something or I'm not going to do this anymore, please follow through as a man to make sure you're not doing those things because it has to add up. Otherwise, there will be no safety and no security from your girl. She's just not going to feel safe. She's going to be constantly questioning, can I trust what he says is what he's going to do? And if it doesn't add up, it's going to be hard for that dynamic to work, at least from the woman to be able to put full trust in that.
That's true. That is true. This is where that gets dangerous, though, is how much leeway do women want when they make mistakes? If they say they're going to do something, but they don't do it exactly the way they're going to say it. If they say, I'm going to be safe for you to talk to, but, like, then she has an emotional fucking day and then tears you up.
Yeah, let's not,
Like, how much leeway does a
Yeah.
woman want when she's like, hey, I said I'm going to be cool, but I know I had a moment and I screwed something up? How much leeway would a woman like?
Probably a little bit.
Well, yeah, want some leeway, right?
Yeah.
Yet if a guy is like, hey, I'm going to take the lead, you have to remember the leadership role is the role people don't want. If things go wrong, it's on you. If
Yeah.
things are not working, it's on you.
Yeah.
It's a shit job. And
Yeah.
so have some leeway for your guy trying to do his best. And don't knock him down where you said you were going to do this and you
No,
did that.
but right, exactly. But have the conversation for understanding, because there may be missing pieces that you're not aware of. Like, have that conversation so you guys can grow together and get on the same page. And, you know, I think sometimes we can make up different scenarios in our mind of, you know, well, he didn't do what he said he was going to do, and you're making up all these scenarios of, like,
That's the thing right there. You are not the accountability
Yeah.
parole officer for your partner.
yes, yeah.
Let me repeat it. You are not the accountability parole officer for your partner.
Yeah.
You're not in
No,
charge.
you are in. Yeah, exactly. You are not each other's parents. Women, you are not your spouse's mother. You're not, and he is not your father. Don't treat each other like
You
that.
said you were going to do this, and you were late. You are not trustworthy
do?
leader. You are bad.
It's like you're gonna send me to timeout.
yeah, what am I freaking grounded? What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And so this is where it goes off where while it may be true what you're saying, that's how quickly that advice can get turned into a weapon.
Yes.
Well, I watched, and other people who do this, they said, if you're not doing it exactly the way you said you would do it, you're not a leader, and I need to protect myself for safety security, and I need to be okay, and since you can't safety security me because you were 5 minutes late, I'm not okay.
Yeah, you won't grow from that.
You're like,
That's not growing.
You didn't
together.
become the boss because somebody didn't do the way you think it should be done. That doesn't work like that.
Especially when you give that answer without asking questions to understand or even having a conversation.
Yeah, that's very good. And that does get into like the biggest issue that I have. And you guys can write this down. It's one word, why your relationship suffers the most.
Yeah.
There's one thing you guys aren't doing. If you want to get your notebook ready or type it in or whatever it is, this is the reason why you guys aren't doing well.
Yeah.
Listen. Listen to what? What's he going to say? What's he going to say? No. Shh. Listen to your person. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Stop waiting to talk. Stop telling them what to do. Stop being the one who needs to be the one in control. Just listen to understand. You don't have to agree. You can just listen to go, well, where are you coming from? Well, why don't they do it my way? Or why aren't they seeing it the way I see it? Or why isn't she doing this? Or why isn't he doing that? Good frickin' questions. Why don't you ask them and then shut up? They'll tell you. And then listen. Do you have to agree with their answer? No. How could that be the same answer as you? They had different lifestyles growing up, different. She got a female system, I have a male system, very different systems.
Yeah.
She had a different upbringing than me, different experiences than me, different background than me, different everything than me. How is it that she would have the same answer as me? Maybe I should listen and not tell her how she should be, because sharing what we see or feel or how we, like things is not like, now you have a demand. I told you how you need to think or be or act or have any thoughts. I told you. Just listen to understand.
Yeah.
For my men, I tell my ladies this. It's almost revolutionary. For most of the guys, not all, most of the guys, especially guys who aren't healthy masculine, guys who are like, I'm good. When a man tells you word for word what he's saying, what he really means is what he just said word for word. If you do not believe me, ladies, when you guys are having a conversation that's maybe getting misconstrued, misunderstood, take a notebook and write down his sentence verbatim, word for word, and then add nothing, don't create an assumption, any intention, don't add anything, and just read back and say, so what you mean is, and then read back exactly what he said, and then see if you're right. And I'm going to bet 9 out of 10, he's going to go, that's exactly what I mean, yes.
Yeah.
And you'll go, so you don't mean you're just trying to get away with something? Nope. What I just said word for word is exactly what I mean. Now, does this work for the ladies? No. Wait, what? Whenever we're doing this exercise, she'll give me 3, 4, 5 different things that are all different. And when I go back and I go, babe, now when you said this word for word, what did you mean? And most of the time she's like, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, now this is to save my guys. Cross off the first thing. Just let me save you an argument, because why did you say this if you didn't mean it? It goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So you didn't mean the first thing. I'm going to cross that off. And what did you really mean? And what did she mean? 5 more things, guys. 5 more different topics.
Yeah.
If you guys just, you can tell me if this is right or not, baby.
Okay.
If you guys think that when she stacks all of her things that are connected to an emotion, you're going to work through all of those things, because each of those things is stacked to another stack of things. If any of you believes you're going to get through all of her things that are on her mind in one conversation, do you think that's possible? No. It's
No.
freaking not.
No.
It's not. But can you get through all the things that he's working on? Yes, because we're still on the one thing still. We're on the thing that happened today. Not the thing that happened 2 years ago. Not the thing that happened with my mom in 2006. We're not on any of that.
We'll pull in from all places. We'll pull in from history if we want to. And I'm more of a processor. You're a very quick action too, but when it comes to like those conversations, sometimes also like I have to also take a moment just to process the information to get my thoughts out. And I think that's part of why it seems so mumbled up, because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. There's been times I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like I get frustrated with myself. So sometimes you may have to take a couple minutes break and then like think about like, okay, what am I really going to share here to see if that helps?
Yeah. This is a tough one too. Here's a hard one. Oh, I'm going to put a tough challenge out. You ready?
Oh, thanks, Olette.
What's up, Olette? If you guys are arguing, oh my God, I'm about to say some controversial shit right here. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
If you're listening to understand, let the guy go first and then make sure what he said is correct before you take your turns, lady. Oh, I heard him go, nope. I heard no, we go first. Ladies first. Gentlemen, chivalry, ladies first, right?
Yeah.
If you understand where he's coming from, odds are the thing you're angry about, you won't be as angry about it. And so then your whole thing that you wanted to vent about, you wanted to feel like you needed to get off your chest and all of that stuff, it won't be as much there because you actually understand where he's coming from before all of the assumptions that you wanted to put on him, all of the things that made you feel a certain way that you wanted to address. Well, now you know where he really is coming from, so now you can address and process it that way.
Yeah.
We have had ones where I went first and she wrote it down, and she's like, so what you really mean is this, this, and this? And I'm like, word for word, that's what I mean. And then you were like, well,
that was easy.
Well, that makes sense.
And also, as you're doing this too, remember, the idea, as you're listening to your partner and trying to understand, is to grow together, not to be right, not to, one-up each other. The idea is growth here. That's why you do it. And so I think that you have to also enter in, as you're doing this with your partner, like, this is a growth conversation. This isn't like someone's doing something and you're wrong and you're right. And like, it's not about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll you're right. Like, don't try to prove a point. Like, talk about it. Let's grow together.
It's not prove a point. It's understand their point of view.
Yes.
This doesn't mean agree.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that because you understand their point of view that now you have to do something.
Yeah.
Listen to understand.
Yeah.
Not listen to talk.
Yeah.
Not listen to control. not listen to get your point across and now it's done.
Yeah.
No, it's okay that we do not come from the same planet.
Yeah.
We came from different worlds. I grew up in Sparta. She grew up in a very different environment than me. She didn't even speak Spartan. I had to learn a new dialect.
Yeah.
So how are we going to have the same point of view? That's not the point.
Yeah. And I feel like you used to, like, let's say, like, he feels like he needs to prove his point. And I think that when we met, he was also like that. I felt like he was always trying to prove his point, and I was like, this is intense. Like, it was hard for me to handle because it came across very mean, aggressive, angry, and I'm like, oh my God.
I was speaking Spartan.
I was like, what is this world? It's terrifying. But one thing that I had to learn, is anytime that I also reacted, like, it made it worse. Or I would be like, oh no, you're not going to talk to me like that. It also fuels the fire.
Correct.
So when he needed to prove his point, he really just needed me to listen.
Correct.
Not to agree, but he just wanted to be heard.
Correct.
And we never even got to that point because I was like, oh yeah? You're not going to talk to me like that. And it was just this back and forth, and we were always bumping heads, but we couldn't get anywhere. And so it was nothing but a circle. And so it made sense why we were also constantly butting heads and not being able to communicate, because we never got anywhere.
Correct.
So
yeah, and understanding when we talk about transcending triggers, the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, she goes to fawn before she goes to freeze. I go to attack before I go to fucking surrender. I'm done. I'm done even talking with you. Like, it'll go into, I'll get aggressive. She'll get controlling on the conversation.
Yeah.
She'll start interrupting and not answering questions. So that means I get frustrated because I won't feel heard and I'll never get to understand her. And then we get in just this loop that's a mess. And at that point, we got to take a break.
Yeah.
Because once you're triggered, we're not growing.
Mm-hmm.
Go, take a minute, reset. Now, we'll take 10 to 20 minutes and just reset. So some of you are like, take a break means 3 days. No, it fucking doesn't. Mm-hmm. No, take a break is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. Just go and write it out, think it out, get your thoughts correct, and don't go back into triggers again. Don't go back into your control mechanism of, I'm going to force you to understand, or you need to listen to me and I'm not going to listen to you. Like, listen to understand, and then once you understand each other, then we can make agreements to go, well, what would work best for us?
Mm-hmm.
What would work best for us? Now, I see where you're coming from, and you see where I'm coming from. What would be a good balance? And there are some things, and we've had conversations we do not agree on, that just are left with, like, we don't agree on that. Is that a deal breaker or not? And like, well, it's not really a deal breaker. I just don't agree at all, and there's not really an agreement to make on that. I don't agree with your point of view, and you don't agree with my point of view. So we just don't agree on that topic.
Yeah. And I think, for me, I had to let go of so much control because I was so fearful of so many things. But I'd want to control the conversation. In fact, when he would get mad or angry, like, I wanted to control it because I just wanted it to stop, and I didn't know how to communicate, effectively in that way because it's something that was new for me. So I didn't understand it. So I'd want to control, where he cannot be controlled. Like, he just can't. And, that's his personality type. And he's big on doing the right thing or injustice, and he's going to stick up for himself, and he's not going to be one that you can walk all over. You just can't. And so it's been a lot of learnings as we've gone through this, but I had to learn to stop trying to control everything and allow him to, like, for me to listen and be there for him. So
it's big. It was a game changer for us to understand each other without trying to control each other.
Yeah.
And that made it so we could open up to each other.
Yeah.
Now I can listen and fully embrace where she's at, and she can listen to me, and I can ask her hard questions. And hell no, I'm not a Pisces. So
we're both Aries.
Both Aries, Damien. So, but no, it's not like that. And I got a couple good questions. Olette, I see yours, and I think, is it Kyle? I think I see yours in here too.
So Olette says, when it starts to spiral, what do you like? What do you do? What stops it from escalating? So what do you do?
That's that take a break. We have once you notice that you're triggered, you have to take. You won't get any progress if you have a partner who froze. Like, they're done. They froze. Freezing isn't stupid. Freezing means I took in all the information and I need to go through it. I'm taking in all of it. Freezing means I have all the information, not enough information. Let them process, then talk about it in like 30 minutes. If he goes on attack or she goes on attack, conversation's over. As soon as anyone calls names, conversation's over. You're a fucking idiot. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. As soon as that happens, as soon as anyone starts calling names, conversation's over. We gotta take a break. We gotta take a break. As soon as one of the partners are constantly interrupting and they don't listen, interrupt, conversation's over. We're not listening anymore. As soon as somebody gets triggered, the fawning thing, as soon as they start, I'm going to control the conversation. I'm going to do it this way. Conversation has to take a break. Let's reset it.
Yeah.
When do you create the agreement to reset? When you're not in the Super Bowl. During practice. We're not arguing right now. Babe, I know that if I get triggered, I'm not listening. And I know when you're triggered, you're not listening.
Yeah.
Let's create a safe word that we both agree. I don't care. I've seen people use Fuzzy Biscuits or Dumbledore or something. You make a thing that's like, we got a time out right now.
The words didn't really work for us. We tried to, but we were so like, we were bringing so much energy to these conversations. It was hard. And so words didn't work for us, but a timeout did. We were like, okay, listen, I love you. I got to take a break though. Like this is a lot. And I think when you go into those conversations too, one of the things that I've learned, I will speak for myself, is don't come in saying you doing this and you're doing this. Speak from the point of view like, I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
Here is my perception. I think that's because as soon as you use you, the person gets defensive, they're going to shut down or whatever their mechanism is, they're going to do that. So just a couple helpful.
Don't start pointing the finger because it's not listening to understand. It's listening. It's trying to demand and control.
Yeah.
Halo. Yeah, we usually post this for our Patreon people. We have a Patreon account, so we take all of these and we post them up. And sometimes we put these up in on our Battlefield of the Mind podcast, and you can listen to it there too.
Yeah, it's also on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know if the it's still recording. I think it is.
Okay.
So it's also we have the YouTube, but we post that up on Patreon.
Yeah.
But starting off with you know what you did wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who doesn't get defensive when we start any conversation with that. Tell me anybody who doesn't. If I go, well, here's why you're bad, and tell me who's not going to have your defenses up immediately.
Yeah.
So we start off with going, well, this is why it hurt me so much, or this had me frustrated because I didn't feel heard, or I didn't feel like we were able to connect on that one. And, we had a video too with state your intention. That'll fuck up the argument. And what I mean is they won't be able to create the reason why they think you're doing it if you tell them really why you're doing it. Like, babe, I'm sharing this because I love you and I want to connect with you. But I need you to hear me so that way we can connect. Will you please listen to what's really going on?
Yep.
Well, you're just trying to control. No, I'm really trying to connect. I just told you my real intention.
Yes.
You're just trying to get away with this and that. No, I'm not getting away with anything. I'm trying to give you, not get away with.
Yeah.
Please listen to my real intention and not rolling with the one you made up for me.
Yes.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So this is where, stating the intention. Example, babe, I love you, and I'm not understanding where you're coming from, but I want to. Will you please answer this question so that I can hear you and I can really connect with what you're working on? That's my intention. And then my question would be, what is the reason that this and this is happening? Or why did you get defensive in this thing so I can understand you better? And now this is where it gets tricky. If you don't know, which is almost all of you, why I feel that way, without it turning into this big long story or blame throwing all over everybody, if the answer is, well, why do I do that? Or why am I in this trigger? Or why am I controlling everything? If you don't know, time out.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let me think about it. I actually am just reacting. I'm not responding. So let me take the break and let me think about it. And so Kyle, like you just said, well, that doesn't work well. She just shuts down. Well, it's because she doesn't know. Well, I can respect you don't know because introspection is very difficult for people. We're not good at going in and going, why am I doing that? Well, that would make me feel bad. And if I feel bad, I don't want to feel bad. So I'm going to avoid that whole thing. Well, give her some time to patch in or reveal you have a strainer, not a bowl here. So when I pour something in, it's pouring out of the holes. Check what holes are happening and why are you reacting this way.
Yeah. Yeah, you can ask questions, Damien.
Yeah, we just get on a roll today.
Yeah.
So
Olet said, he says, you are just looking to find problems. It's not healthy, I know.
It's true.
Yeah, you're just looking to find problems. Yeah, she's going to get defensive, for sure. No, I'm not. It's you. You're the one, because you're now yelling at me or whatever, and you're actually the one that's doing it. And so you guys get into who's doing it more, who's being the meanest, who's the real problem starter. It gets into a competition of like who's the biggest asshole.
Yeah, who is it? It's you. I don't have to ask. I already have the answer because it can't be me. I'm too good.
Oh my gosh.
It's triggering.
Yeah. That's it. You're triggering out. Yeah.
If you got triggered, that's your hole you got to work on. You got to patch that up. Why am I triggered? So I know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so some of you guys have had some good questions. We were on a roll here. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of these good questions that you guys had. I know, let's see. So, like the guy said, he needs to go first. All right, so what's the order here? Yeah, ladies, let your guy go first. Oh my God, can you imagine? Like, I can already feel him going, no. They need to control everything. Talk about a level of humility. Get a notebook, write down word for word what his thing that bothers him is. And just understand it. You don't have to do anything. Just go, is this what bothers you?
Yeah.
And if he's like, I'm really upset that I don't feel appreciated for these things. Don't go, oh, so I don't appreciate you and I don't do enough around here and do you know what I do and do you know this? Stop.
What about this and this and this?
Write down, baby, what don't you feel appreciated for? Or how did I do it in a way that's maybe not the way that you need?
And again, that comment that he's making he didn't say any examples or anything about you. He's just saying, this is how I feel. So then you ask clarifying questions, understand, can you give me an example of this? Or can you clarify a little bit more? Ask questions. Don't assume. As women, we assume a lot. And we make shit up and then we call it our truth and then here we are in this circle of nonsense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well said. That's correct.
Yeah.
They'll make up an answer, and then now he has to defend against your make-believe answer when he really just said, I don't feel appreciated. You used to be so excited when I would do things for you, and now when I do things for you, you point out things I didn't do yet.
Right. And thank goodness. And here's, just using that example, as a woman, or I guess it could be anyone, we use women for example, if your guy is telling you those things, how exciting that is to even hear that, because now he's opening up to you and now you guys can work to grow rather than get defensive.
Yes.
Wow, like I didn't even understand that's how you were feeling. That wasn't my intention, or however you want to handle it. Now we have something. Now the growth starts because you were able to open up and share that with me. As soon as I get defensive, there's no more growing. The growing stops, and your relationship's going to continue to die.
Yeah.
But in that moment, if someone's sharing something with you, like, this is really hurting me, that's a great moment, because then you can grow and you can work on it together.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And Kyle, that's a tough thing. Here's the thing too. I'm gonna call you ladies out a little bit. Tell me if you guys can say there's something to this or not to this. When I work with my women's group and I work with my men's group, I see different patterns. My ladies are really good at taking an inventory of all the tasks that they've done for the day. They did this, I moved these things, I cleaned these, I folded this, I put that away, I got these things, I ordered these, I put that in place, I cooked this, I made that, I put this away, I went to work for 4 hours. They have a full inventory of every task. Well, Kyle, all you did is go to work for 14 hours. That's only one thing. You're like, but I do like a life-threatening job, and it's really hard to do, and like it takes a toll on me, and I hate the job that I have to do to make sure that you guys are provided for and have a good life, and you guys have the food and all the things that you just organized and stuff I had to buy from all my compromising my time away from my kids and my love to be able to give you that lifestyle that you're upset about. You're not seeing that go to work is not one task. He's like, I'm a freaking engineer, or I do this thing where like I put these things together that most people couldn't figure out. I do a very difficult and dangerous job.
Yeah.
That's just one thing, though.
Yeah.
I did 100 things today. I cleaned up these, and I put those. I put all these Legos. That's 1,000 things away.
It's not a competition, and I know in the women's call today, I'll say this again. There's too many relationships where people are treating their significant other worse than they are shopping at Target. So like Kyle is saying right now, like his wife doesn't, there's no greeting anybody as soon as he comes home. But you will thank the person that's checking you out at Target. You will say thank you. You'll open a door for someone. Like the manners and the way that people are treating their spouses and significant others is worse than what they're treating a stranger that they don't even know. But we say that we're in love with people, and we say that we want to be connected. We will have these great relationships, but the effort doesn't show that that's what you want. You're talking, but there's no action behind it. So take the effort, take the way that you treat a stranger out in public, and start treating your partner. Start there. Start being kind. Start being nice. Start greeting them when they come home from work, asking them how their day is going.
Well, these is where you're right. I can see that's important to you because you got fired up a little.
It is.
Like you're right, but it's a little different because that's still a control. Let's go the other way, guys and girls. Let's go the other way. Don't control and don't go, you need to do this, you need to do this. You want to know what really works? Let go of all that. You're like, what do you mean? Heart side is surrender, not do tasks or force.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do love, you fall in love.
Right.
You don't force love, you let it, you faith into love. I'm giving my full open heart to you.
Yeah.
And I think this is where we're so busy trying to go, like, let me do the checklist instead of saying, will you just stop controlling everybody? Don't do the checklist and just go, I am open and loving for you. I see you. I feel you. I'm open to receive and give to you. And don't try and deliberately destroy and poison your partner when they're open. You guys want to have a really harsh realization? The way that you treat your person is how you love. Just write it down. Well, I argue with them a lot. That's how you love. I complain a lot about my person. That's how you love. That's the way you're a lover. That's how you love.
Yeah.
I need to make them be different. You try to change everybody. That's how you love. You force love. That's how you love. You didn't fall. You don't open up. You don't let them in. You don't do that. If you're not letting them in, if you're not surrendering your heart to another person fully, how much do I need to love you? Now that I am in love with you. How much would it make you feel so good if I went from all in 100% to like, well, now I'm just going to go 70% love you.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm gonna knock that down to 50. I only half love you now because I have to control you again. How does that feel?
It doesn't feel good.
Doesn't feel good. I accept and love her on her journey, her growth, her patching her holes, and me healing my heart and her healing her heart, so we can give more to each other, so I can surrender more love to her. I can give her more love. And she's able to receive it because she doesn't have a strainer anymore.
Yeah.
Now she can hold the love and go, I feel the love. And it's not because if you have a strainer, ladies, patch your holes.
Yeah.
Because if you had good love, you would just pour it all over and say you don't have any. That's your side. And guys, if you can't open up your heart and you can't be honest with your emotions and open up, and I don't mean the cry all over her emotions. I mean, I am so in love with you emotions. I surrender my heart to you, even if it's risky or scary. If you can give that love and she can receive that love, girls will reciprocate once they feel they're in a safe enough dynamic 100%. To do that.
Yep.
Who has to lead? Who does it first? Guys. Just the answer.
Yeah.
We have to lead.
To.
We create a space of safety so they can heal, not fix their problems. I have to be so clear. You don't fix what her ex did. You don't fix what her dad did. You don't fix anything. I just give you the space where you're safe enough to work on it. Okay? I don't fix any of her things. I don't fix them. She has to patch her own holes in her heart. I just give her the space to make it so there's no new holes being added.
Mm-hmm.
We're not punching more holes in there. No, I'm giving you a space where you can work on it and know you're safe and you're good and loved and okay. But get your holes patched so I can give you more love.
Yeah.
And you can receive love without it pouring out the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ladies, if you cannot be honest around the holes that you have in your bowl, if you don't believe you have a strainer, that's because you have a strainer.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with yourself. If you're like, no, I can hold so much, good. Now make it so he feels safe enough that you don't judge, ridicule, blame, and shame him for having emotions so he can give you more. You both have to be safe for each other.
Yeah.
But men have to start it, and then women, you have to reciprocate it. If you're both not safe to communicate with openly, you are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that bad news, baby, if you're the problem?
No.
Why not?
It's good news because then you can do something about it.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys on here though that are like, I do that, and it doesn't work.
Right. Ladies, if your guy is going, I'm giving you my full heart, are you listening at all? It still comes down to the listen thing, guys.
Yeah.
If they're not listening, they have holes in their strainer. They have holes. You're not listening. That means we cannot connect because you're waiting to control and you're not surrendering to hear. It's okay to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to disagree. It's fine. You're not the same people. But at least understand, where are they coming from? Now, men, true or not true, I will accept understanding if I can't get empathy. If she won't be empathetic, which, let's call it what it is, ladies, it's like 99 out of 100 do not give empathy for their men. Will we settle for understanding if we can't get empathy? How many of you guys would be like, I'll take understanding? Like, even if she can't be empathetic to my heart, I'll take understanding. How many of you guys would be okay with that? While that question is stewing, like, yeah, I'll take understanding if I can't get empathy. Or like, no, I need empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, I have almost no guys who understand what empathy is until they're in like a men's organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because guys give empathy more than women do, so we'll take the understanding. At least understand. It's not an agreement. It's not a demand. But I'll take the empathy. Or I'll take the understanding before I get an empathy. Yeah. So just hear.
Mm-hmm.
Just hear.
Yeah. John, that's a great question. I think that also when we get to that, book a call with Rick and share also what you've learned. I know that you said that you've been studying the mind since '08. It's funny because we used to have this joke that, calling yourself a coach, like everybody's a coach for something. We agree with you. There's coaches for everything now. There's some good ones, and there's some, not so great ones. But I want to encourage you, too. He said, I'm thinking of starting a channel, more of a writer and thinker. Do it. Just get started.
Do it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and book a call. I'll talk with you on like how to get to your next steps to get your first book done and how to build your first thing. I'll just
It's awesome.
talk with you, man, because there's a lot of people who have dreams but they're afraid to go for them, and so like I'll have a conversation with you and let's see where you're at. Because if you're at the beginning, people will know you're at the beginning. I've been doing this for a long time, so that's why I say call up and see like, well, where are you at, and we'll get a read on each other when we have a real conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So John, that'd be cool to talk to you. You can book a call in our. Just go to the top and you can go to our page and just book a call for free.
Yeah. Kyle says, she tells me that she has to be more independent and not depend on me so much.
Why?
Yeah.
Kyle, there's a lot of narrations right now that women are taught to be cold and heartless and men are taught to be weak and silent. Why does she need to be more independent? Is it for autonomy or is it for control?
Mm-hmm.
I would bet that it's not coming from a healed place. It's coming from a fear place.
Mm-hmm.
So why does she need to be more independent and not depend on him? If it's because she's scared, well, you guys are going to have a whole whirlwind of make-believe problems that you have to contend with. Because she's going to be scared all the time. Because she thinks she needs to probably control, and yes, being let down all the time. And so that's tough too, because you're like, I want to take the lead, but if you've dropped the ball, now she's like, let me ask you, Kyle, just a quick question. Do you have a very healthy male role model or role models in your life? Guys who are like, these guys do it right. Do you have any good male role models or mentors who show you how to do it?
No.
That makes sense. So you're on trial, error, guess and check, try to figure it out, because you didn't have the thing that she needs because you've never seen it before either. Odds are, too, she doesn't know how to respect a man. And I wouldn't be surprised if she grew up in a home where it was dad wasn't the best guy, or mom didn't respect dad, or there was no dad. Like, because she has no clue how to respect you and what you have to go through, and you have no idea what you're supposed to do because no one ever showed you. So you're both just trying to wing it. He said, yeah, that's why after 16 years we haven't gotten married. You don't know how to do what you're supposed to do because no one's ever shown you what it looks like.
Yeah.
And she has no idea how to respect and love a guy because she's never probably seen it done.
Yeah.
You guys are both blind people leading blind people and making babies in the middle of it. Yeah, because both our parents' marriage have failed. So you guys have no clue what that's supposed to be. It makes sense that marriage would be terrifying because it looks like a shit show from both sides.
Yeah.
Of course. Why would you want to enter into that?
Yeah.
Scary stuff, for sure. And both dads were alcoholics. How much, Kyle, did you completely go against it? Or, oh, dang, it's been that long. Did you go completely against alcohol, or is that become your coping mechanism at some point also? Or hers? Is she the drinker too? Or are you both drinkers? Like, how did you guys end up coping at this moment? Completely denounce that behavior, or we both drink because it's a lot? He's like, son of a bitch, I hate typing this thing. Both sober friends. So you both were, and then you had to get out of it. You guys broke that curse. Good. So now you're both not doing the vice, but we still don't know what to do. We just know another way not to do it. If you guys want to jump in, what we do is I train my men first. We have a women's section. Our girls can jump in. If you guys want to jump in with other people working on stuff, we can at least give you a path that has worked, the highest success rates, and the things that are best practices. We can at least give you that. So you at least know what you can do. And I have my men get together every day and we work on shit every day.
Yeah.
Like every day, every morning we get together and who's getting hit today, who's working through something. And we work through everything from unaliving ourselves to PTSD to addiction to isolation to anxiety to depression. You name it, we team up on it. Like we kick those things in the ass and we'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
And so any of our guys who are struggling, there's a place that we work every day with our guys. And so there's a lot of guys in there.
Yeah.
And so Kyle, if you want to team up with some guys who have done this fight, and you want to see, I've got like 5 role models now of guys who I really respect and I know that they're good, then you can team up with other guys who can help mentor you and show you the way and help you to get stronger, because right now, there's a million ways to do it wrong, trying to figure out a way you've never seen done right.
Yeah.
It only makes sense that you two are struggling. It only makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle, the first choice you have to make is just book a call for free. Just talk, just hang out, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is one of our leaders. He's one of the guys who coaches some of our groups. He runs units. Like, there's really good guys. Phil's one
Really
of our
good
leaders
men,
in
yeah.
here, too. There are good guys in here right now. I got my warriors even in here. Like, we just look out for guys. We look out for people.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't know what that is then.
Yeah.
In the bio, yeah.
At the very top, click the link, and you can book a call there. You can also send us a message request, and we'll send you the link for the Discord as well.
Any of you guys can do this, by the way. We're not limited to just Kyle. If anybody's like, dude, I want to check it out, or I want to see what it is, just check it out.
Send us, you can send us a message request, and we'll keep our eye on it.
No contracts and none of that stuff. Just come and check it out. Just check it out. Cool. Yeah, Cap's going through one of the units right now. Best decision he's made.
Awesome. That's so good.
We got to have a good talk just this last week, so that was good.
Yeah.
Let's see, John.
Nikki, jump in.
I believe in our men and young men have no philosophy or belief system. They have philosophies and belief systems, just not healthy ones. Just not ones that promote authenticity and strength. There's ones that promote, subjugation and weakness and shame and guilt and not being good enough and to self-censor. There's
Yeah.
philosophies and beliefs in there. They're just not healthy ones.
So as women, we definitely need we need our men to be strong, like we do. Otherwise, we're going to have a society that is going to continue to fall
We'll
apart.
have weak men and cold, heartless women.
Yep.
If you look at what society's push is right now, the very basic versions of it, is it's making women more selfish and
Yep.
isolated and thinking they have to do everything that's the opposite of nurture, compassion,
Yep.
love, support. They're going into the opposite of everything they're wired for. And guys are doing the opposite of everything they're wired for, which is strength, security, creating, building, doing the things that men are supposed to do. The gather and the protection element, well, that's being destroyed by making weak men and selfish, self-centered women. Killing compassion and killing love in the dynamic.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't noticed, when you do a role reversal, it's a total mess because women get overwhelmed doing the men's side,
Yep.
and men feel insignificant, and
It doesn't work.
it breaks them. It breaks them down into depression and unaliving.
As strong as women can be, or independent women, or whatever you want to call them, we need a strong man, no matter what. I consider myself to be pretty strong, can take care of myself. I also used to run the words of, I don't need a man to take care of me, it's fine. Like, that was me years ago. It's so much more important, even me being strong, to have a guy that is solid, that's strong, that does not have wavy lines. Because as strong as I am, I have wavy lines, and I can be all over the place. And there's moments where he has to, like, check me in a respectful way to be like, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. And although sometimes I don't like when he says that, I'm like, that's what I need, though. Like, I do need that, you know?
If I do not agree, I hold the line.
Yeah.
I
And
do not-
it's
I do
so
not-
important.
I do not compromise myself for things I do not agree with.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like it, but she likes it.
I do like it. It makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I hear you, but I'm not changing myself for that.
Yeah.
And John, getting the Stoicism, if you like Marcus Aurelius, it was a big book for us too. I had to translate it for her because she's like, what is he talking about? And I'm like, that means this and this. Yeah. So Stoicism is a big part of it for my first book, which I'm republishing and doing another thing. But the first book, Everything is a Choice. I think we have a way to get a free copy of it, or it's on Amazon, all that stuff. But this year, I'm probably going to be putting out. I got this one being republished because there's a couple chapters that I can improve, and then I got another book we're working our ass off right now for the Map Out of Hell to get people to step by step, but not just understanding how to grieve, their control mechanisms, and the enemies within of doubt, fear, excuses, and distractions, but how they're all connected and how to defeat them very simply. Yeah, Jordan Peterson is fantastic. He's really good. Yeah, of course, I listen to some of his stuff too. He's really, really smart. He's very, very intelligent.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, good stuff. What's up, Jesse Cunningham?
Jesse?
Very cool. Yeah, so appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening and asking good questions.
Yeah.
Baby, how do you feel? We've been on this for over an hour now. You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good.
You
Unless you guys have more questions, I'm okay to go.
You want to keep going.
It doesn't matter to me. I think we're in such a good place, and I think that I think coming on tonight and just the conversations we've had over the last couple, months, but definitely the last couple weeks, and just everything going on. Like, I said to him, if we can help one couple literally be able to have the connection that we're feeling with each other, and like deep connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never, in all of my 44 years of being alive, have never had this type of connection with anyone in my entire life. And I was married before, and it wasn't like this. The connection, the soul connection, the spiritual, like, heart connection is so strong and solid. And if we can help a couple just regain that within their marriage or in their relationship, or send people on the right path at least, like, that's really what it means. And it makes it feel like this is what living should be like, to have your person,
Yeah. Like, before
Yeah.
this, like, I thought that I understood the concept of love, but I didn't know what love was. And so, like, I didn't know. And, like, we'll go and we'll talk. We'll talk for hours. I'll go and we'll put on some music that has no words, really important. I put on just background noise with no words, and we'll talk for like 6 hours. I'll just sit there and just listen to her, and I'll hold her hand, or we'll just sit and connect with each other, and I just listen, and she listens, and we listen, and you sit there and go, damn, the more I'm just listening and not controlling. If she says stuff I don't agree with, I'm inquisitive. I want to know, well, where did it come from, or what are you working through on that, or that's a lot of stuff you're carrying on there, babe. Like, and then I'll do the same, and she's not reacting to me like she used to control me. We really just listen, Phil. We really just listen to each other. So it's been like some of my favorite days where like people are like, wow, you just wasted a lot of time. You just stayed in bed for 6 hours. I can't think of a better way to spend my minutes than to sit and just love with you. And like I just fall more in love with you over and over because I'm accepting you.
Yeah.
And I'm listening, and I'm honoring us, and I'm enjoying like the moments of what you share, and then you listen. Yeah. And what I share, and I feel heard, and you feel heard, and the love just keeps growing. And I will say, I'm falling more and more in love with her. In just our last, like not even more, just over half a year, we've really been working on Heartside together.
Yeah.
I've fallen more in love with her in this last half a year than I have in the first 6.5 years we were together.
Yeah. It's true. I think that, the word love can be so artificial. Like, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'm in love with that person. Oh, I love them, or I love, 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 love. But when you really feel it, like, oh shit, this is my person. Like,
I don't even want to go to work. I just want to hang out with you today, baby. I love you. I just, I don't want to do this. Why don't we call off today? Let's call off today.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I got to call myself because I'm the boss. I'll be like,
yeah.
All right, I called off my day. You good? You're like, no, I can't just call off.
There's a perspective of, you still have to live your life. You still have to make money. You still have to go to work, right? You have to do all those things. But the priorities are so important, and the priorities shift. And when you really want to connect with your person, that is everything. Because you do. I mean, naturally, life is so busy, especially if you have kids. We have 3 girls, and it's so easy to get pulled in so many different directions. But the North Star is right there. It's back to him. It's back to him. It's back to him. Because
and I've got you, baby.
Yeah.
Baby, I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got you. You're accounted for. I've got you.
Yeah.
Follow me. I've got you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do. She's like, all right, you got me? I'm like, hell yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, babe. Come on.
Yeah.
Come with me.
I'm like,
I got
all right,
you.
we got this. And we got it as a team, a teammate, and I think that's, it took a long time to get here. Don't it? For anyone that's just joining, be like, oh my God, who are these people? Like, gloating about the relationship. It was not like that.
We had to fail it. We had to fail every part to get here. We had to argue a lot. We had to not listen. All the advice that we give right now to be able to say, this is how we found love, is because we fucked it up all the way to this point.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in a really long relationship where it's been messed up, we did that too. That's how we found each other. Now you have to start listening. Start listening to your person and listen to them. Don't react. Don't control. You don't control anybody. You only control how you handle it.
Yeah. And the more that you know about your person, like intimate details and about their life and their feelings and their things like that, like naturally you're going to be more connected. You're also going to have more patience because there's an understanding of who this person is. Mm-hmm. And not just what you've created or your assumptions of like they're acting like this because of this. No, there's probably a very good reason they're acting like that. Yeah.
Hey Loretta, do you want some information that you're not going to like but you need? Whenever I've seen any woman go, I want to have a relationship like that, I'm asking the other half to do therapy. Is that good? Whenever a woman is trying to send our videos or send stuff to their husband, or he needs to read this book, or he needs to go do therapy, or he needs to go this, you're the problem. You're not doing your side. Women think that they're already good and he needs to get better. It's not about doing therapy. It's about really doing the work for you, patching your holes. I think a lot of times when I see people doing therapy, and women, the therapy these days is getting very unhealthy because if they're hyper-diagnosing and then giving you advice on what you need to do, get rid of him, dump him, divorce him, women, therapists are killing relationships.
Just to let everybody know, I see someone, I talk to her every couple weeks, and I just saw her today, and she's lovely. We have some really great conversations, and I was sharing with her something we were talking about, how these therapists are saying, like, you should leave your husband. She's like, what? I'd be very curious to know where they're going to school, where are they learning this stuff, because that is not, she's been doing this for 22 years. She's like, that's not how you do it. It's not. And so be cautious of who you're choosing to be in therapy with. Challenge them as well. Don't just accept things to accept things, because people are going to have their own opinion, and it does make a difference of what experiences that they've been through. That's what I'll say about that.
Okay. Now, Loretta, this is where I guarantee you, I don't want to get into this part, but if you want to book a call, I'll break it down for you. But if you're, what if they hit you? I guarantee you there's a lot more to the story than the one victim sentence you'll put in here. I can guarantee you, if you guys have been together for years and then there was an abusive move that was done, there's more to the story than I was hit, I am a victim. There's more to the story here, but women will do one sentence and immediately have the bandwagon done. I bet you there's a lot more going on to both of your sides that is extremely unhealthy on both sides to lead to these conclusions, and you staying with somebody who's this way, when once these behaviors happen, the choices become very clear. There's a lot more to this story than what, and this is where I'm telling you, ladies, you are very conditioned to be gaslighting your introspection and do propaganda stories to bandwagon people on your side. There's a lady, who is it called? It's, I think it's the Happy Wife Academy or something. She's got a YouTube channel. But she was speaking the exact way that you are now until she started doing her self-work and realized she was the reason for the problems. And once her accountability got raised to maximum, all of the things that created the issues went away because she was trying to fix him, instead of being able to go, well, let me understand what's going on with my partner, and I have my own things. Well, again, I let someone use the bathroom and that happened. I promise you the story isn't, hey, go ahead, use the bathroom. And he's like, something happened. There was a back and forth. Things were said. It got confrontational. There was a disagreement. And this is where I say women gaslight introspection to make themselves a victim by only telling the part that was bad against them without saying, I called him a bitch, I told him he's controlling, I told him to shut up, I did all those things. And go, wait a second, that's picking a fight. No, that's not, what are you doing that for? And so when I train people with the accountability challenge, there are things that happen, because I bet you once we get into who was this person and what was going on with that and why was that there, people change the stories to match what the narrative they want it to be. But to say, like, somebody went to the bathroom and then my husband became abusive, I guarantee you there's more to your story. Now, I'm not saying it's right to hit your partner. No partner should be hitting partners.
Right.
Nobody should be hitting anybody.
No.
Men shouldn't hit men. Women shouldn't, or men shouldn't hit women. Women shouldn't hit men. Nobody should be hitting anybody. You know, and so I let a man use the bathroom and maybe they were triggered. Well, again, like there's something happening here where if you came home and some lady's using the bathroom, you'd probably be like, why is there a lady in the bathroom?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more.
There's more to the story, but if we tell just the small parts that we want to leave our pieces out, why is there a man in your bathroom? Well, if you came home and just a woman you don't know is in the bathroom, you would be like, of course. You'd probably be a little upset because why is there a lady I don't know in the bathroom? What's going on? Again, pay attention to the things that are there. For all of us, start with accountability first. What was I really doing? And would I be okay being on the receiving end of my own things? And if we have that honesty with ourselves, we don't gaslight the truth, we don't change the narrative. Would I be okay if you came home and another woman was using your bathroom? Would you be like, well, is she thirsty? Would she like a meal?
Yeah.
No, you'd be like, why is there some bitch in our bathroom? And he's like, oh no, it's no big deal. It's just a lady who had to go. Why is she here? I bet you wouldn't have no questions.
Yeah, the whole story itself, I'm so confused.
There's more to it, and this is why
Yeah,
I
I
say
think
when
she
people
agreed,
tell
yeah.
their story, there's more.
Yeah.
You're not in necessarily just a full abusive relationship.
It's like
there's
when-
stuff that happened
Yeah.
over time, or
It's-
something's happened.
It's similar when people get a divorce, especially right out the gate. It's everyone blames the other person. There's no accountability. It's your fault. He did this to me, or she did this to me, and there's no account. It's both sides.
Yeah.
Both
And
people were in on this
more
one.
to it.
Yeah, there always is.
This is
more,
where I think therapists drop the ball. If you can train well enough to at least do the accountability challenge and tell the story with maximum fault on myself. I made specific decisions that did certain things that led to a certain outcome. If you tell the story with truth and accountability, maximum accountability, what I've noticed as human behavior is that when you are at fault for something, we learn the lesson and then we don't create an identity around it. Let me repeat it because some of you may not understood what I just said. If it's my fault, I don't create an identity around it because I go, lessons were learned. Hey, did you take that last thing? Yeah, I took that. Remember, we're saving them for people. Oh, that was me? Oh, shit. All right, that was my bad. And then someone goes, remember when you took the last thing? Be like, hey, listen, I got it. I don't do that anymore. Lessons were learned. Let's drop it, right? But if your last thing was the one taken, I'm like, people always take my last thing. Well, did you say not to take the last thing? No, they should have known, but they didn't. They just take it because nobody cares about me. And my identity now becomes what happened instead of going, dang, I had a thing. So again, Loretta, I see how you tell your stories. So when he cheated on me, he should take accountability and should work through it. When you're with the person who does certain behaviors, you now have decisions to make. If you know somebody's true colors and choose to stay, they're not doing something to you. You're choosing to be with someone who's not a match for you. You're not a victim once you see who someone really is. After the first time, you go, oh shit, that's behavior that's there.
Yep.
Now, I don't know his side. Maybe you guys didn't sleep together for 2 years or something. I don't know the story. Why is he talking to other people? There's also a part on his side where his accountability of there was a thing I needed that wasn't happening too. There's both sides to this, but people get so quick to condemn with one sentence without understanding what the hell happened. There were things that you were doing that weren't working, and there's things that he's doing that isn't working.
And at the end of the day, I know your sentence, Loretta, says, so when he cheated on me, he should take accountability. He should take accountability and should work through it. He doesn't have to. But then now you have a decision that you need to make.
Are you going to stay with someone who has another relationship on the side? You don't fix him.
No.
Is it a match or not a match then? Now from the moment that somebody is, and this goes for our men too, as soon as somebody is abusive to you, or somebody's cheating on you, or somebody treats you unkind, or deliberately intends to do harm, the first one reveals them.
Yeah.
But now your choice every single time after that is your fault. Well, how's it my fault that they do those things?
Yeah.
Because you knew who they were and then you chose to stay.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't know, then we'll work on it. And if they go like, I made a mistake and I won't do that again, there's something to work with. But if they're like, that's what I do, and you go, well, I'll stay and try and deal with that, every single day after you know what their thing is, that's you. It's not them anymore. That's you now. And so the story of, look what happened to me, I start getting a little bit, my spider senses tingle, like, how are you such a consistent victim when you choose to be with somebody who shows their true colors over and over and over again? How can this happen? You know, if she's like, I got a boyfriend on the side, and I'm like, that goes against everything that I stand for, but I stick around and go, she's always got a boyfriend on the side. Why is this always happening to me? As soon as I know she likes boyfriends on the side, I have to decide, is this a value match for us? And if the answer is no, I'm not a victim. I have to decide to stay or go. And if I choose to stay, I am the one who did that. I know her true colors. I know what she's doing. I know now. No questions. I know. Every single day that I stay after I know is my fault. Every day. That's on me. I need to do things differently because I know the answer to this. I know her true colors now.
Yeah.
So this is where I start getting into, well, he's hitting me or he's cheating on me, he's doing these things. There are years of things that have happened to lead to this.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to lead to why is he starting another relationship? Or why are you guys fighting with other men in the house? There's something happening here.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff going on, but if you can't be honest with your side,
Yeah.
you can never grow or you'll
Yep.
never change to do anything that feels authentic because you can't do truth.
Yeah.
And so, yes, he did shit. So what are you going to do about it? I stayed. Well, that's you. Yeah, but he shouldn't do shit. No, he already did it. It already happened.
Yeah.
Now what are you going to choose to do?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like that he does that. Noted. What are you going to choose to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he should stop. That's him. What are you going to choose to do? Well, I'm going to stick around. That's you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get a boyfriend and I'll show him. Okay, you're picking a fight. Well, he better like that. He won't.
Yeah.
That's your choices, though. You made choices, too. I'm going to tell him how bad he is. Well, what's it going to fix? Show true colors already.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it's like, do you see you? Other people do what you do. You won't control him.
Right.
But you do control your choices.
Yeah.
You know, John, you can see that. That's Aurelius. That's Stoicism. You can't control everything around you, but you can control the way you handle it.
Yeah.
And for those of you, just like we're sharing with Loretta, your circumstance that you have, that doesn't define you, but it does reveal you to yourself. Look in the mirror now. Look at the choices you make when things happen. That shows you you.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's you. What you just did is you. And that's where therapists are goofing up right now, is they just want you to feel heard. And there's no tools, there's no awareness, there's no practice, here's what we have to work on for your next mission to improve the acceptance that you have to have through your grief and your loss and yourself and your understanding. Without those pieces, you are now just floundering in a circle. You guys are driving on a roundabout all day long, burning gas, wondering why your location isn't changing. It's crazy. What's up, Joe? You said just listen to the podcast with Chris Gritty. That was a fun one. I think he wouldn't expect how fun that would be. See, and you touched on that. Yeah, he went all over. He has a good talk. I like Chris. That was a good one. Thanks for listening to that, Joe. I appreciate you.
And YouTube, Ruth says, fear of being single or alone or the thought of trying to find a new relationship usually influences their decision. But in the end, it is their choice.
To make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good call, Ruth. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is why I lean into like the everything's happening to me mentality that is so common.
Yeah.
The opportunities for you to choose a different thing is all around you all the time. If you choose to stay with somebody who treats you poorly, that's because you choose people who treat you poorly to stay with.
Yeah.
That's not happening to you. You're doing that.
Yeah.
Well, what if I'm trapped? You chose to be trapped. Like, relationship experts across the world are pro-autonomy. Well, what's autonomy? The ability to say, if this is an abusive relationship, I can go. That's not a threat. It's a fail-safe. If she decides she needs to be with another man and that's what she wants to do and that goes against our values, well, I will just choose to go. I can leave. And if I decide I want to be with another woman, she can leave. Not because you need to do what I tell you or I'll abandon you or leave you or I have 1 foot out the door. I do not have 1 foot out the door. But I didn't bar off the door if she wants to start doing complete non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
If she gets pregnant from another dude, I probably won't stick around for that. I will leave. I have the autonomy to go.
Yeah.
That's healthy, so I don't feel trapped.
Yeah.
And so there should be a safe place for you to go. This is an abusive dynamic, and so I'm going to have to leave it. Every healthy relationship coach I've ever met is pro-autonomy.
Yeah.
Not ultimatums. Autonomy. Not control through like threatening abandonment. Autonomy. It's not the same thing. But I see people commonly go, well, I can leave you whenever I want, so do whatever I tell you to.
That's not how it works.
Not autonomy.
Mm-mm.
This is threatening and controlling. But if you are abusing me or I am abusing you,
Yeah.
I can
I can go.
choose to leave.
Yeah.
That's what autonomy is.
Yeah.
So the choice is still there. Now, because we work on each other and I love her from the bottom of my heart, we have options to go, we have options to be with other people, we have options to do whatever we want, and I choose her every single day.
Same here.
I choose her every day. It doesn't matter what options exist. That's what I choose every day. I choose her.
Yeah.
Not because I'm trapped, not because she's trapped, because we can go and I choose her every day.
Yeah. Same here.
And that's important. That doesn't
Yeah.
make us weaker. It makes us stronger.
It actually, it does. It is a testament to a strong dynamic, because there's a lot of people that feel like they're stuck, especially in marriages where, you know, even the guys are staying for the kids because they have so much to lose. When you have autonomy in relationships, for me, it feels like, okay, we're in it for the right reasons, and know that we still continue to choose each other without any, like, I guess, default, or, like, I'm not afraid of, like, if something goes wrong. What am I trying to say here? I don't even know.
Where you going, baby?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where you going,
I'm, like,
baby?
all over the place, and nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. But that I'm choosing to be with you, not out of, like, have to or need is
You're not trapped,
the
baby.
basis. No.
You're not trapped with me.
No.
But, like, I choose her, she chooses me.
You said it much better.
And this is where you guys can do that, too. Like,
Yeah.
that's what autonomy is I
Yeah.
choose you. But it's not one foot out the door. I have both feet in.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start hurting me, I will leave.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing things that deliberately are hurting you and break your non-negotiables, cheating, abuse, being, hurtful, spiteful, emotional damage, people who want to harm you and destroy you, well, I won't stay for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for me. It's not good for you. And I'm working to be better for myself, to let her in my heart. And she has also been doing the same thing, and we fill each other up more than anything. And I hope you guys can understand this surrender element of giving your heart to somebody. And stop giving them the fucked up broken pieces and
Right.
expecting things to go well.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable, Danielle. Hey baby, what if I start punching you or the kids in the face?
No.
Is that a negotiable? Can we do a new agreements on that?
No.
Just once a month?
No.
No, non-negotiable. Punching the girls is a non-negotiable. We don't have that.
Yeah.
What's up, Joe Harmon? From Alabama. We were just in Alabama.
There's abuse and cheating. I won't.
Yeah.
Neither one of us, I don't think, would deal with that.
If she wants to start sleeping with other people or have a relationship with another man, that's a no-go for me.
I hate those
I'm not
examples.
going to be in that. And if I start doing that, it's a no-go for her.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable. We don't negotiate that area. We have agreements already that our dynamic isn't like that. We are not a polyamorous couple.
Hell no.
No, we are monogamous. This is my girl, I'm her guy. That's our choice. That's how
Yeah.
we are. And so if she decides, well, I want to be with other people, I would leave, because that's not a negotiable area for me.
And that's also not part of our agreement. And it's also not part of, like, and I kind of look at this too. We have so many conversations about the connection and being with each other. Like, if he was like, surprise, I'm actually been talking to somebody else, I'm going to go be with them. I'm like, do I really want to be with someone that just everything, a lot of things were a lie, but also now you've chosen someone else. So, like, for me, myself, I wouldn't be able to trust that situation. I'd be like,
non-negotiable.
yeah, you
Me
gotta
talking to
go.
another person.
Yeah, no.
Baby.
You're gonna have to be my cliff notes for tonight.
Yeah.
I'm like, and blah 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 blah. My gosh.
Cool. So hopefully that's at least helpful for you guys to go, like, what are some of the things that go, like, how do I work on this? Big things, if you can take away, listen to your person. If you have the know-how to let your guy go first and repeat back, I bet you'll have less to complain about when you understand your guy. Like, if ladies go first, we never get to a conclusion. If guys go first and you understand where he's coming from, it's going to goof up half your argument because you understand the truth without changing it to be your truth, and then you argue about make-believe.
Yeah.
If you let the guy go first, I bet you the arguments disappear. Because ours have done that. As soon as she wrote down exactly word for word what I was meaning, and she read it back word for word, she's like, well, that makes sense. And I'm like, thank you. That's exactly where I'm coming from. I'm like, now would you like to go? And then she was like, no, that actually makes sense to me. I don't really have anything to say anymore. And I'm like, good. What do you want for dinner?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have to argue because the things that she was creating that weren't true, once she had the truth, no longer needed to be addressed because her fears, concerns, and things that she didn't want to deal with, well, weren't actually happening. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't have to argue about things that weren't true anymore.
Yeah.
Try it. It's mind-boggling.
It works.
Listen to your person so you can understand, not to comply, but to understand, to connect. Remember, sharing doesn't mean compliance. It's for connection. I want to understand you. I don't have to agree with you. Mm-hmm. I just want to understand you. And we're supposed to not see it the same way. That's all right. It's okay. It doesn't mean someone needs to do something because we say something or, do something. We talked about this before that. I put the AC on in this room. Johnny Greggs pointed out, like, I can hear the fan on the microphones. I was like, yeah, the AC's on this room because it's hot in here. There's 10 lights on right now. I get hot in here. So she came in and she said, it's cold in here. How many of you, if someone said, it's cold in here, would immediately jump to, I need to do something. I'll change the temperature. I'll do this. I'll change that. I'll fix that. I'll do that. I ask her and all of my girls who just point out, ooh, there's sand on the floor. Oh, this is there. Somebody left this out. Oh, those things. They just make observations all day with an opinionated tone. I just, wait, is there a request here? Is there something that you need? So I asked her, I was like, is there something that you need, or were you just making an observation with a little bit of an opinion there? She's like, no, I can figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't asking, yeah.
She didn't ask me for anything. She just made a statement that it's cold in here. Fair enough. Correct. It's a little chilly in here on purpose. There's a reason for it. It gets hot as hell in this room.
Yeah.
We have done lives where I had to stop it because I'm just pouring
so
sweat.
Hot in here, yeah.
That happens. So then listen to understand. I'll listen. Is there something that you need? She's like, no. I didn't have to fix her problem when there wasn't anything to fix because she didn't make a request. She just had a statement about temperature.
Yeah. And I was going to get a jacket, and Ruth said I would put a jacket on. I went to go look for it, I couldn't find it. I was like,
I was like, take my heat. Just get my heat then. I make too much.
Be fine.
I'm hot now.
Yeah.
Take my heat, baby.
Yeah.
Take. And so this is where, if there isn't a request, I can listen for one. But if I created an assumption and started adding in my own shit, oh, it's cold in here, you hate how I keep the office, you don't like how my studio is, you have a problem with everything, all you want me to do is everything you do. I guess I'll just be uncomfortable so you can be comfortable.
That's exhausting.
And I just start making up problems instead of asking, is there anything that you need? Mm-hmm. Is there a request to change the temperature at all? If I start making things to fix, I create problems that don't exist.
Yeah.
I hope you guys get that. Well, is there a request? And if they go, no, I'm good, believe them. But if you say, no, you're good, and later on go, you just never do things, you are the problem in the relationship. It is you.
Oh, gosh.
Because you lie. And you lie all the time in your relationship. You said you're fine, and then you weren't fine. Well, that makes you a liar. So tell the truth when you really want something, and then you won't have to argue about your lies. Damn, that's not nice. That's not nice when he calls my truths lies. Well, you lied. You said you didn't want anything to change, and then later got mad that it didn't change. What for? Who are you mad at? Yeah, you should have turned the air down. Why should I have turned the air down? Because I said it was a request to turn the air down. You just made an observation. That's not anything that needs anything to be done.
Yeah.
And for those of you who think, yeah, Danielle, you don't love me, you're just creating problems. We make up problems that don't exist. I didn't have a request. She didn't have a thing she needed. She just made an observation. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's okay that she can have an opinion about temperature. I don't agree with her temperature opinion. I am still sweating now, and it's probably cold in here for her. So I don't agree with the temperature. That doesn't mean either of us are right or wrong. It doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping you guys can take a piece from that, that just because you two aren't the same doesn't mean somebody is right or wrong. But at least make a request and then have some agreements that can work. If she likes it at 75 and I like it at 67, can we put it at 71?
Yeah.
Like, well, that makes it a little uncomfortable for both. It's manageable for both.
Yeah, and I'm an adult, so I can go find something else to put on too.
Yeah, put a layer on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Why should I have to wear layers?
It's fine.
Why should I have to take all mine
Yeah,
off?
it's not that difficult.
Wait a second. No, I'm just
Get
kidding.
out of here.
Turn up the heat. In any case, all right, so it's been quite a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We had some family stuff going on. We're going to get back in the swing on date night. But real talk, guys, it's been fun hanging with you guys. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
But I'm going to call it here
Yep, let's
because
do it.
I want quality time with you, and I want to go hang out with you.
Let's do it.
So thank you guys for being here. You can book calls. You can jump in. My men's side thrives. My women's side, we have a space. I do training on Wednesday for our girls, but my men's side is every single day. So guys, book a call, jump in, and let's work on building up our men. So it's very good to hang out with you. King's community, looking forward to hanging with you. But very cool to see you guys on here. We appreciate you very much, and we look out for next week. Hey, Ryan. We look out for next week. Wednesday, we'll see you